Okay, so as I was saying, for flash fiction, you have a very short story that's less than 1,000 words, from 3 sentences to 1,000 words. That's flash fiction. And to tell a 3 sentence story is possible. The story is structured in such a way that it must immediately arrest attention. It must sound innocent, but with a twist at the end, a pleasantly shocking twist at the end of the story. Okay? For instance, in the example, my name is Alice, and today is my sister's wedding. It is all beautiful with the sweet music, the pastor's sermon, and the exchange of vows between my sister and her handsome husband. But just as my sister says I do, the groom's baby kicks in my womb. So that story is quite interesting, especially because of the twists in the end. The twist in the end. That's what makes it interesting. So I think we should read it together. Again, one, go.
My name is Alice, and today is my sister's wedding. It is all beautiful in the church, with the sweet music, the pastor's sermon, and the exchange of marriage vows between my sister and my handsome husband. But just as my sister says I do, the groom's baby kicks in my womb.
Thank you very much. So we move on to the second 3-sentence story that I believe also has the same twist. So you can write it down. Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson is my neighbor. We live together in a government reserved area here in Port Harcourt. We live in a government reserved area here in Port Harcourt. Today he has come to ask me to help him take his son, Daniel, to school. Today he has come to ask me to help him take his son, Daniel, to school because he has an early engagement at work. Because he has an early engagement at work. Semicolon. Semicolon. I gladly accepted. I gladly accepted and was happy for the opportunity to take my son to school. I gladly accepted and was happy for an opportunity to take my son to school. Full stop. You get. You grab. Okay, so let us take the story again. One go.
Mr. Johnson is my neighbor. We live together in the government research area here in Port Harcourt. Today he has come to ask me to help him take his son Daniel to school because he has an early engagement at work. I gladly accepted and was happy for the opportunity to take my son to school.
Okay, great. Who can explain the story for us? We can explain the story. What is happening there? People don't know what's going on here. So what's going on? What is happening? Okay, let's just move on. Let's just move on and talk about the short story. So the short story can be read at one sitting. The short story can be read at a sitting. The short story can be read at a sitting and should not be more than 7,500 words. And should not be more than 7,500 words. From 1,000 words to 7,500 words constitutes the short story. So the short story is so short that it can be read at one sitting. You can sit down and finish reading a short story. That's how short it is. It ranges from 1,000 words to 7,500 words. So in writing the short story, you must note the following. When writing the short story, one should note the following. One is that one should keep the characterization small. One should keep the characterization small. The short story should have a small set of characters. The short story should have a small set of characters. The short story should have a small set of characters. And the story should focus on one character. The story should focus on one character, the main character. The story should focus on one character, the main character. If you have many characters in a short story, you will not be able to develop them. If you have many characters in a short story, you will not be able to develop them. We have many characters. So a typical short story can have 3 characters and focuses on one character. That was the story of a person. That's how you're able to tell the story well, because you don't have enough space to develop characters. If you're writing a novel, then you have enough space to have many characters, because you have time to talk about what happens in their lives. So a typical short story should not have many characters. A short story should not have subplots. A short story should not have subplots. A short story should not have subplots. That means that a short story should have one main plot, one main action, one main plot, one main storyline. If you have different storylines, you will not be able to handle it in a short story. You should not have subplots. The story should be straightforward. It should be a single story. So the plot of the short story is simple. That's a single storyline. You can use dialogue to dramatize your short story. Dialogue is a conversation between or among characters. Dialogue is a conversation between 2 or among 3 or more characters. Use dialogue to dramatize your short story. You can have a part where the characters converse, have a conversation. The short story should be straight to the point. The short story should be straight to the point in the narration of events. But there should also be suspense, because it's the suspense that arrests the interest of the reader and makes the story interesting. So you must not tell a story where everybody can predict the ending. In fact, literature generally, where you're not allowed to tell a story that people can anticipate how it ends. You have to keep people guessing, wondering how it will all end. And when it ends, they should be pleasantly surprised. Okay? You need to give your short story a suitable title. Literature thrives on their titles, generally. Literature thrives on that title. In fact, the first thing that attracts people to a text is what? The title. So, like, what's going on here? I need to find out what this is all about. Okay? Like this story, Warino the Carry Last. You might want to read it to find out why people are saying Warri should not carry last. What does it mean? Warino the Carry Last. Okay? It's important that you give your story a suitable title, an interesting title, an interest-arresting title, a suspense-filled title, an attractive title, like Warino the Carry Last. People wonder why Warino the Carry Last. Okay? Okay, I have a novella that goes by the title Don't Marry Angelica. Okay? I have a novella, a published novel that goes by the title Don't Marry Angelica. So most people are attracted to read the book just by the title because they want to know why Angelica should not be married. Okay? Don't marry Angelica. So titles should be suspense-filled. Titles of books should be suspense-filled. Should make the reader want to read the book to know what is going on, or what the title is all about. So it's that important.